Today, we're going to be doing our first review of the book, #Hooked by Patrick Fagan. Now, Patrick Fagan is a marketer, and he really goes into depth about the neuroscience of why people do what they do. And the importance of this book to salespeople, it gives you an opportunity to design your messaging, to design what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, what you're going to do in front of a customer in such a way that encourage them to act the way that you want them to. And the first key that I want to focus in on in this review, we're going to focus in on others later on, and that is say versus do, or attitudes versus behaviors. Now, an attitude, or what people say, is, I don't like something. I don't like hamburgers, for example, or I do like something, or I'm a lifelong learner, or I'm a Republican, or I'm a Democrat, or some facet about yourself that describes your attitude. Now, what you do is when you go to work every day, you talk to people in a certain way, you go to the store, you buy certain types of food, you buy certain brands. There seems to be very little overlap between what people say their attitudes are and what they actually do. And from a salesperson's perspective, the idea is not necessarily to change what a person says that they believe or to change their attitude about something, but to change how they behave. That's really only the key. Not changing attitudes, only changing behavior. Now, I'm going to give you a quick example here, because this is an example that Patrick gives in the book. So researchers had gave people a pen and told them to put it in their mouth. Some people they told to put it like this. And what that does is it forces the edges of your lips up, and it forces a smile. And they have the participants do that for a while. Now, they had another group, and they had them put the pen, same pen, in their mouth like a dangly cigarette. So no forced smile. Then they showed both groups a funny video, and the people whose lips were forced up in a smile thought they were funnier than the people who did not. So this is a case where actions cause people to change their opinion to change and their behavior to change. Now, as a salesperson, then, the question is, how do I get my customer to engage with the product in such a way as it causes them to have a positive experience? Because this is some of the things that Patrick Fagan doesn't really get into, but they discovered in research going, I don't know, way back into the 50s, that if the researchers could trick the participants into doing something, then later on they would ask the participants why they did what they did. And the participants would always come up with a reason, always. And the reason had absolutely nothing to do with what actually happened. There was no basis in fact. And savvy marketers realized that people buy on emotion. They buy on emotion. They buy for reasons that they're not consciously aware of. And their conscious mind will make up a reason after they've come up with a decision. So they'll say things like, oh, it was good quality. My friends will be impressed. It was the right color. It was something I wanted all along. So as a salesperson, you want to engage your customer with the product, and you want them to have a positive experience of owning it before they even actually own it. When I sold fireplaces, there's a remote control, for example. Okay, so I'd give them the remote control, have them turn it on, talk to them about the benefit, give them all kinds of nice, juicy reasons, not because the reasons were why they were going to buy, but those reasons their conscious mind would use later on to justify why they were, or to rationalize why they purchased the fireplace in the first place. Excuse me. So get them involved. Get them involved in any way you can. Fireplaces, it's kind of easy in some ways because, what is fireplaces? It's hearth and home, it's family, it's belonging, it's closeness, it's warmth, togetherness. It's a very primal type of thing, especially if you live in a cold environment. And So those are important things that I want to tap into when engaging with a customer, and all those emotions. I want to bring those emotions up, and I want to trigger them, and I want to tap into them. The reasons the rational mind will use later on, and that's a lot of the feature and benefit that we're taught as salespeople. People talk about features and benefits. The features are the reasons. The benefits are the emotions that people are going to have when they actually own it. So that's it for today. I'm sure we'll come back to the book #Hooked by Patrick Fagan. Great book. I recommend that you check it out. There's a lot of really good information, actionable items that a salesperson can use to help boost their sales today. You have a great one.